If people like the video, people like the video. That's their opinion. Why over here saying, oh, shame on you for liking this video? It's like, come on, bro.
Like, I've watched a few SML Talks videos before, and not one time have I seen him say anything positive about SML.
He gets way too serious about SML for no reason. Like, he'll be watching a video and reacting to it, and his, not watching it, sorry. He'll be, commentating on an SML video in his freaking series that he'll be like, I hate Jeffy! I hate him! Ah! Shut up, Jeffy! Shut the up!
You are a general bad SML reviewer. You say bad shit about videos that aren't even bad. You make the most dog shit, like opinions. You ever get to your fans 50% of the time, call people future.
No, because that's actually a valid question. If you really do hate SML so much and claim good videos are 1 in a million with Logan, then why exactly are you trying so hard to pump out these daily videos? He either really doesn't want to admit that he's being overly childish and cartoonishly angry over SML, or he's dodging because he's not actually that mad and his rage is a divisive strategy to get more views.
SML Talks is a grifter. It's pretty sad that it's taken so long for people to notice this. Me included, I never thought of something like this. But if you read the actual Google definition of this, along with Wikipedia, it is so obvious that SML Talks is grifting. It's pretty obvious that SML Talks doesn't give modern SML the light of day. Why is this? Why do you still watch modern SML if you hate all of it? Oh, because hating on SML gets you a lot of views? Well, you're not really an SML critic, and I think you should take the word review out of your act. If you look at his channel, you can tell that SML Talks is clearly, quite clearly farming engagement, as every single time he makes a review on an older video, he loves it. But no matter what, unless it is like a perfect video, or he just has some sort of bias towards it, he hates on the video no matter what. Half the time it seems like he doesn't even watch the video. This was not a video I planned on making. I really thought that my last SML Talks video would be my last. However, I recently got in an argument with this Neanderthal, and well, it's pretty obvious that no matter what you say to him, he's gonna stick with his original opinion. So, I thought I'd make this final video as just kinda to refresh everything else that SML Talks has said and done that causes him to be so controversial. With all of that out of the way, here we go. This is my final video on SML Talks. This first segment is more just going to be me talking about other points I should have put in my first 2 videos, but I didn't. So, yeah, we're not retracing old water, but this isn't like response or anything. This is just other points I have about SML Talks.
That's so cool!
On my first video on SML Talks, I received this comment talking about how the video wasn't very good, as basically everything I brought up was about the editing, which the whole point of the videos was genuine criticism. And to that I say, what criticism? I've seen a ton of SML Talks reviews, and all of them usually go as SML Talks insulting Logan and the people who like the video, and then getting mad at the video for not keeping the lore and not having a good plot. Now, some of y'all might be wondering how that's such a bad thing. I mean, after all, most SML critics review the plot. But the difference is that SML Talks constantly brings up that it is a comedy, and yet doesn't review it as if it's a comedy. Let's say I was reviewing every episode of a show. Let's just say The Simpsons, because it's not a comedy, but everyone treats it as one. If I was to review every episode of The Simpsons from just season 1 through 10, let's say, would I review the episodes based off of the plot and the lore, or would I base it off of the comedy? Because it is a comedy. The same thing goes for SML Talks. He constantly brings up that it is a comedy and it should be funny, and then always talks about the plot and the lore, which you should not be watching a comedy for that. That's not what a comedy is. A comedy is to be funny, and you never review it as if it's supposed to be a comedy.
It's like it's in real life.
In SML Talks' members-only video on why he still watches SML, he brings up the point that he knows that SML is capable of getting better. May I remind you that this guy has also said stuff like this
Hey, this is me from the past. If you're watching this, that means Logan has made another bad video yesterday, but I haven't obviously seen it yet, so this video has nothing to do with the recent SML video or even Logan himself.
And also this, talking about misery.
What are you guys talking about? You guys are acting like this is the best SML video in the world. Have you not watched 2015, 2016, 2020 even? I'm very disappointed in you guys. Very disappointed. You all see me as the villain, but I know I'm the hero. I know I'm right. Frick you guys.
Totally sounds like somebody who wants change in SML. To put it as simply as possible, SML Talks is not an SML fan. He is a Super Mario Logan fan. I know that sounds the same, but you see what I'm saying here, right?
Hey!
This is possibly the worst thing SML Talks has ever done, and I'm gonna try and be a little bit more serious in this segment because this is genuinely screwed up. SML Talks said that somebody was gonna grow up to be a certain SA, or let's just say that, over a Mario Plus channel. The worst part is that this isn't the only time something like this has happened. Here's a screenshot from an even older video, and it is why he has been accused of being a pedophile, which I will go ahead and say right now, those allegations are false. SML Talks is not a Mr. Winkle.
Stop recording me, okay?
This wasn't a segment I planned on putting in the video, since, you know, I have an entire 5-minute segment coming up on how SML Talks is a hypocrite, but I wanted to include this clip because of how funny it is. Here we go. SML Talks is known for calling tons of people idiots if you just have a different opinion than him, which is really funny considering that SML Talks has made as simple of a mistake as mixing up what cast members voice what characters. Oh, and if you don't believe me about any of this, here is a clip of SML Talks saying that Lance voices Mario and then getting mad at somebody for saying that Lance voices Junior.
No, who Lance voices, bro? He obviously voices Mario. Gotta be Junior? Junior, probably Cody as well, right? Oh, what? Oh my gosh. This guy just said Lance voices Junior. Bro!
Boom, there's your proof. And also, I know there are going to be some people who say that this is just a simple mistake he made, but whenever somebody like me makes a mistake when trying to call him out, here's what he responds with.
Business.
This is not going to be the main person I talk about in this video, as I've already made a video talking about this guy, but I do think I should talk about him a bit more, because I didn't really go into a whole lot of information in my last video. Quick refresher for people who didn't watch or don't remember the video I made about this guy. Basically, there was somebody who commented on my first video on SML Talks who was acting just like SML Talks and was insulting me and making fun of me, and my theory was that this guy was an alt account of SML Talks. Do I still think that? No, I don't really think that this guy is still an alt account of SML Talks, cause I know it is. For those who don't know, I recently got in a huge argument with SML Talks on one of his videos. And yeah, arguing with SML Talks felt the exact same as arguing with this stupid grasshopper person. They both felt like you were arguing up against a brick wall. They never accepted anything you said, they kept changing topics, and they kept insulting you no matter what you said. To start off with, this guy, unlike SML Talks, instantly comes in hating and instantly starts arguing with me. Just no build up. He starts off by making fun of my voice, which makes a lot of sense considering the fact that you sound like a nerd emoji, by the way. I then respond to him and tell him to get alive, and then he tells me that he's also in high school. Wow, you're telling me that you're also in high school and yet you agree with what this bozo says? Dude, I have talked with over 20 people in high school about this guy, and none of them have ever agreed with what he says. I then call out literally everything he said as a lie, and yet he somehow still thinks that he is beating me in this argument, and he thinks I am out of comebacks. No, buddy, I'm being the bigger man and giving up this conversation. And by the way, this is the same thing SML Talks did when I said the exact same thing. I'd also like to point out that he said that I was comparing SML Talks to Dab HG or Ray Rants, who are pedophiles, by the way, when I'm pretty sure I never said the word Dab H-Dude or Ray Rants once in either of my videos. The only time it has been mentioned is in the second video when I showed the comment. That was all you, buddy. I then respond to him, which we're gonna ignore my response because I really don't add much to it, other than just kind of insulting him because he's being a jerk and I'm literally disproving what he's saying, where instead, look at what he says. This is probably the best piece of proof that I have that this guy is just a complete liar and that he is an alt account of SML Talks, because you can like SML Talks and agree with what he says, but there is not a single person on the planet who thinks that he uses comebacks against the haters. What fire comebacks? Such as... This argument then ends with me pointing out that he must be an alt account, and then he never responds ever again. Wow. Just wow. And to think he called me dumb? That's just insane. I think the funniest part is that he thinks that he proved me wrong. Riddle me this, Batman. What exactly did you prove in that entire conversation? That I need to grow up? Well, yeah, I do. I'm a freshman in high school. I literally said that.
Censored it. I censored it. There's videos that
Alright, here we go. SML Talks and I recently got in a huge heated argument that lasted 20 replies in around an hour because he believed in some sort of absurd conspiracy theory that Logan faked the cease and desist to make merch sales. I'm not kidding. That's what the original comment was about, and that's my reply. When I originally made my first 2 videos on this bozo, I originally thought most of the controversy was with his opinions. But really, it seems like mostly everybody doesn't really care about his opinions. The issue is how he reacts to criticism. Arguing with SML Talks was like arguing with a brick wall. Every time I actually had a good point, he would change the topic and insult me. I'm not kidding. I'm going to go through this entire conversation to prove that this guy is 100% in the wrong here. We're actually going to start around 25% into this, because the beginning of the argument is just me kind of going back and forth with him, talking about how the cease and desist wasn't faked, as, well, it wasn't really an argument yet. We're going to start here, where SML Talks tells me to prove it, and so I explain it to him, and then he calls me a certain word that I'm not going to say, because my family watches this channel, and just completely ignores everything I said and just look at one single sentence. I'd also like to bring up in that original reply that I brought up how SML Talks insults anyone who disagrees with him, because he proved me right within his reply, literally like 10 minutes later. Genius at work here. He then responds by saying that I'm deflecting, even though he just deflected by ignoring everything I just said, and then tries to make me apologize to him. Which, by the way, he doesn't even do once for calling me the word. For those who are wondering, this is called a straw man. I made a perfectly good point against him, and he completely ignored it and changed the topic. And trust me, this is going to come back multiple other times. I'm pretty sure there are other things to call it, but we're just going to call it a straw man because it's the easiest way to describe it. I then respond by pointing out how he isn't able to say that stuff either, and how he is never willing to give up an argument. He will continue arguing with somebody no matter what. And what does he do? Oh, would you look at that? He deflects again. This is like the 10th time he has changed topics to constantly seem right. He has not proven me wrong. He hasn't done anything to try and prove that I am incorrect in this situation. The only thing he has done is insult me and bring up new points that I wasn't even talking about. When he replied with that, I'm genuinely dumbfounded. So I then say this. I don't know why it auto-corrected to not put what at the beginning, but just act like it's there. He's acting like I'm the one who escalated the argument, even though he called me a word I'm not gonna say, over not knowing something about an SML video. How am I dumb for that? And oh, would you look at that, he deflects again and changes the topic again. We are pushing numbers at this point. I then drop this huge slab of words. I'm not going to read out all of this, but I will read out the main thing I bring up in this situation. At some point, I bring up that Nintendo is an extremely greedy company, and how they probably sent the cease and desist because they didn't like that Logan was profiting off of their characters, which, by the way, has happened before with fan projects, so we actually have confirmation that this most likely happened. And what does SML Talks respond with? I'm not even gonna read it, because I feel like my brain is hemorrhaging apart when I read it. So I'm gonna have an AI bot read it out, and then I'm gonna respond to it.
Stop crying for 1 second, dude. How weak are you? So your logic is because Nintendo is more greedy, Logan isn't.
Wrong, wrong, and wrong. Incorrect buzzer noises, because I never said anything like that. There is so much proof on the internet that Nintendo is a greedy company that has taken down so much stuff before. What is your proof that Logan took down the channel to make money? Nothing. What? He's greedy, he's smart. Okay, that doesn't prove anything. Show me actual proof and don't just say stuff. You're not proving anything. Oh, and the best part? When I call him out for this, he changes the topic again. He has not done anything but change the topic and insult me. Hey guys, this is Evan. I have some more information here that I want to put in because really, if I was able to go back in time, I don't even know if I would say this to SML Talks, considering the fact that he'd probably just ignore it because he's a troll. But I have some more proof that the cease and desist obviously wasn't faked. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of do all of this in one take because this is just me saying stuff. But one, there are like actual images of the cease and desist online. I don't exactly know how SML Talks missed this, but he did. Except he probably didn't. He probably just ignored it so he could continue insulting me. And yeah, it's just, I don't know how people are able to think of stuff like this, like how the cease and desist was faked. But yeah, also, the cease and desist was specifically made to prevent SML from promoting their videos with Mario characters and how they weren't allowed to use Mario characters anymore. This is why they changed the thumbnails on the Super Bowser Logan channel, because they're still allowed to keep some of those videos up, I suppose, but they can't advertise the videos with Mario characters. And you would know that if you watched the video on the cease and desist, which I'm imagining SML Talks didn't do, and it said he is just guessing off of the thumbnail and one other video that said it was faked. Yeah, that's really all I have to say here, but back to the video. It's really funny that SML Talks thought he proved me wrong, when all he did the entire time was insult me and pull a straw man over and over again. He did not prove a single thing I made incorrect, except for something that I could have figured out on my own. He never did anything other than insult me. Alright, well I think it's safe to say we've proven that SML Talks is a narcissist who doesn't think he's ever incorrect, as he think he somehow owned me, and yet the only thing he did the entire time was insult me, and for the 1 billionth time, pulled a straw man. Alright, I have made a couple of videos on SML Talks. So some of y'all might be wondering, why did I go through all of this effort, including literally picking apart an entire argument me and SML Talks had, if he most obviously is not going to put in the effort to actually watch this video? Simply put, I want more people to know about this guy's existence. SML Talks is not a very known about SML critic. I think the most hated SML critics are DabH Dude and a couple of other creeps. I just don't think enough people know about SML Talks. I think more people need to be put onto him, as not all hated SML critics are bad people in real life. SML Talks, if there is the tiniest minute % chance that you are actually watching this video, one, I am actually pretty impressed that you were able to sit through a full video hating on you, and two, I think you are so capable of becoming a better SML critic. The first step is to take notes from the quote-unquote haters, you say, who, by the way, most of them are not haters. Most of them actually like your content.
I watch SML Talk sometimes. I'm not a hater, but I am critical of him because I think he absolutely could do better than wasting his life away arguing with children in the comments section for zero gain. The dude is genuinely pretty good at being able to write scripts that summarize episodes in a fast and digestible manner, and he's capable of being a funny guy, but a lot of the time he just crashes out over things that don't matter.
Most of the time, your quote-unquote haters are actually trying to give you actual advice to make your videos better. but you always disagree with him because you take it like a middle schooler. You no matter what think that it is an insult, and you think you need to defend yourself no matter what. I know some people might be wondering if I'm a hater of SML Talks, and to that I say, no, not really. I don't go out of my way to watch his content. I personally don't like watching him, but I don't wish that he will die or something. I know there are some people who wish that he would get canceled. I am not one of those people. I just want to see him improve and stop arguing with kids in his comment section. I could bring up other reasons why SML Talks gets so much hate, like how he always brings up his subscriber count and calls people jealous when they disagree with him, when really, how many of those people do you think are subscribed to him simply to hate watch? However, there's no real point in bringing that stuff up, since SML Talks is not going to change anytime soon, because he is a grifter. SML Talks learned that being positive simply just doesn't get the amount of views as being negative. So as such, he has switched to being negative 24/7 so that he can get constant views. He is not going to try and get better because he knows that if he fixes himself, he's going to get less views. That's why this is my final video on SML Talks. There is no point in constantly reiterating that he is incorrect if he knows this and he's just gonna keep saying that he is correct to get more views and attention. Yeah, sure, this is kind of ruining his internet presence, but he doesn't care. He cares that he is getting views. That's it. There are a lot of other situations where this has happened, where content creators just make videos to get hate because they are getting constant attention. So, if you subscribe to this channel to keep watching me make videos on SML Talks, I'm sorry to tell you, but there's basically no other videos on this guy that I'm gonna make at all. Even if he makes a direct response video, there's no point in responding to him, cause he isn't gonna listen. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.